I lost you in a dream, and that dream came true. Marianne, tell me every little thing that you're gonna do.
I love he looks down.
There's got to be something I can do.
Stop singing.
I just can't stop thinking about you. I just can't stop thinking about you. Just can't stop thinking about you, James.
Lovely.
That's niche. If anyone gets that, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Last week, very good. Lots of people.
That was singing.
Lots of people recognising good singing, but also good music.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. A few people got that last week.
They did.
For those of you watching for the first time, can you guess what the fuck that was?
Yeah, and if you do, big props.
Good luck to you.
Big props.
More importantly.
Oh yeah.
It's the big one.
Hello, how can I help you?
White Teeth's back.
Is he really?
He's fucking back.
Is he
mate.
back?
He's back, boy.
Jeez!
Wait. By popular demand.
If
They wanted him.
Yeah.
They got him.
If this is the first time watching or listening to One for the Weekend podcast, all will be revealed.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Just
absolutely.
say, one of the greatest literary pieces I've ever read
Yep.
will be revealed
Absolutely.
later in the podcast. We've got him. He got in touch. I'm buzzing. I've read it. Flav's not read it. I was nearly crying.
You nearly cried?
I nearly cried.
Genuinely?
I nearly cried at the... So, yeah, it's amazing.
You nearly...
I was on the train and I nearly started crying.
No!
Mate, it's
How can
so
this
good.
be?
It's so
See, what's
good.
amazing about this is from a segment of the podcast called Soldiers Lost in Battle, where people generally talk about how they've missed a very momentous moment in the history of their football club because of outside powers that prevented them. And usually what we got was, my girlfriend made me go shopping, so I missed Liverpool winning in Istanbul. That kind of thing, which is, fine.
Yeah, the car broke down.
Yeah. The story of White Teeth is something else entirely. We'll give a little recap before going into that story.
And I'll tell you what, for those of you who don't know the backstory in full, we'll put a couple of links to those podcasts in the description.
Yeah.
So much to talk about. Liverpool versus Chelsea this weekend. We're going to be talking about that game. The top four, is it sewn up? Isn't it sewn up? I don't know, Flav. We'll talk about that.
We will.
We'll talk about the Harry Kane saga. I've got a new bit.
Harry Kane saga?
Called Initial Reactions.
It's not a saga, is it?
It is a saga, mate. It's kicking off. People getting very angry about it.
Are they?
Gerrard to Rangers. Could it be?
Yeah.
And we'll chat about the relegation situation, because that's exciting as well.
Right.
Last game for the Championship as well. And then all your favourite bits. We've got trivia. We've got Sunday League Nightmares. We've got... What else we've got? Soldiers Lost in Battle, of course.
There's a new bit as well.
Initial reactions.
You got a new bit?
Yeah, it's
I
called
have no
Initial
idea what
Reactions.
this means. I can guess. Are we going to mention last night at all? Or this week?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Because, I'll tell you what, this is the nice segue for it. Room 69. And hijack it this week, Flav. Normally this is one for you where you put someone into room 69 where they need to disappear from football.
Yeah, to save everyone from
Save
them.
everyone, yeah.
Because they ain't going willingly.
Exactly. Previous people just milling around in that room currently.
Yeah.
Are David Moyes.
Yeah, Alan Pardew.
Lambert went in there.
Yeah, Paul Lambert.
Despite 3 weeks earlier going, this guy could do something.
No, he's in there now.
He's in there now, he's gone.
Yeah.
Some people call him for Paul Merson, he's not in there yet.
Paul Merson?
Yeah.
What's he done?
He's stupid, isn't he?
Whoa.
He is.
I mean, he knows his value. He understands what his thing is. You can't blame a man for earning a crust, being himself. You want fake people on Sky Sports?
No, I just want to see a better version.
I don't. I want to see more like Paul Merson.
Well, and that's why he's still got a career. People like you wanting to watch him. Room 69 for me, I'm hijacking. Pochettino, off you go, young man. Or old man.
What are you talking about?
Pochettino has to go. It's not working. The soy milk has turned sour.
Go on.
For Pochi.
What, explain.
I'll tell you why, and this links into Liverpool quite nicely. Liverpool,
Yeah.
Champions League final.
Yes.
In a final. What a season. What a season for them. They've got to be delighted with that. Moving forward as a club, not stagnating, right? Arsenal. I mean, we're recording this before the game, but possibly in a final.
All right.
If they are in the final, I guess you'll know that now. Incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Wenger, look, he's on his way out anyway as well, and it's the right time for him to go. Man City won the league, one of the greatest teams of all time, with the amount of points they got. Chelsea are in a cup final.
Yeah.
Man United are in a cup final. Something's not working at Spurs. You're going backwards. He's got to go. And he can be as quiet and as nice and as, he's doing things the right way, developing these players. It's not working and he's got to go.
This season,
and he's gone.
This season could end. This season could end with Liverpool finishing 5th and not in Champions League next year. And Spurs could be above them. If we win all our games, we finish above Liverpool in the league. In terms of consistency and a true barometer of quality, over a league season, whoever finishes, league table don't lie. The league table don't lie.
That's true. I've made my decision. Pochettino's disappeared from football.
But I'm the god of Room 69. This isn't... they are puppets.
Yeah.
For me.
Who are puppets? What are these people that you're putting into this room?
6 or 7...
Just milling around.
The 6 or 7 very average contributors to football magic.
Do you know what? Room 69, the chat in there.
Oh, God.
The chat in there.
So boring.
Dead.
David Moyes, we forgot. Imagine a conversation between David Moyes, Alan Pardew and Paul Lambert.
Yeah. David Moyes, I reckon he's like, he'll have a backpack with him and he'll get out some snacks and people will go, oh God, I'm starving, I'm going to eat for ages because I'm in a fictional room. Yeah. David Moyes goes, do you want a Rivita?
No. He's got cucumber sandwiches without marge.
Really?
That's what he's got. Just dry white bread.
I think Rivita's better.
Cucumber.
Dry, so dry.
But nothing on it, no condiment.
No,
just
Rivita. Do you want a Rivita?
A Rivita, that's David Moyes' career in a nutshell. They're very popular. Lots of people eat them.
And at times you think they're good for you.
Yeah.
But it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. It ain't worth it.
Liverpool last night, as we're recording this now, are in the Champions League final. Gone to Kiev.
Yeah.
It was nervy. I don't know if you're looking for it because you're going, they need all these goals. But I thought Liverpool, Roma got into a lot of really strong positions. And the difference between the two was it was the quality of the front three. Yes,
I think that it was... The thing about a two-legged tie is that it isn't based on one game, obviously. It's... There you go, there's a bit... Paul Merson...
Make a note of that.
What I'm saying is the fact that they lost 4-2 last night it isn't a bad result. It's not... It isn't looking... You won't look at that and go, well, they've got no chance against Real Madrid because they've been beaten by Roma. It doesn't work. It's about psychology.
I do love the psychology of the second leg.
Yes, it's fascinating.
And how, they've lost 4-2.
Yeah.
They are buzzing. It's class, isn't it? Yeah. Roma won 4-2.
And it could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse. They... poor old... Alexander-Arnold on the right got a shoe-in.
He had a poor game,
yeah. And he's a young player and you can't expect... These things are going to happen. It's part of his growth and understanding the game and what he needs to do to make sure that doesn't happen. It's important. It's like a boxer who gets battered in his early fights. You learn from it.
As a club, I think the way that they play, I think that game was so alien to them because in the first half they were sort of steady straight away, and it was like, right, there you go, Roma, off you go, give it a go.
Yeah.
And then, but like they have in previous games, they kind of had not a bad first 10 minutes, but not dominating that first 10 minutes. And then the second 15 minutes, they've then got themselves right and played on the front foot. But then when it got to the second half, I think they weren't playing on the front foot, they're not used to that. So someone like Alexander-Arnold is used to just totally going for it. When you've got something to protect, it's tough not to be a bit nervous.
You have to protect a 3-goal, was it 4-goal at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to protect that. That's when you protect your lead. If Liverpool are going gung-ho and they've got a 4-goal deficit, or a 4-goal advantage to defend against, that's crazy. So Klopp did the right thing, I think, but it nearly turned out to be a terrible thing because a couple of referee decisions going towards Roma would have meant that was much more nervy. As it turned out, despite it being quite a one-sided performance in the second half towards Roma, they were never really in danger. And even when that penalty went in the last minute, you knew that the ref would blow pretty much straight away.
And again, that's the great thing about football is that weirdly you knew Roma would have all the ball and would dominate that half, and it's as if Liverpool could deal with it. It's like almost 22 players have just gone, right, this is how it works.
But what's interesting in the gym is that what this sets up a brilliant final. The Champions League this year has been incredible.
Yeah, it's great.
It's been absolutely fascinating. Some great games, reverse score lines. Barcelona, taking a 3-goal lead into Rome, the Olimpico Stadium, and Roma turning them around. There's been fantastic stuff, and this tie was up there with, the best of them in both sides. Both games. But what does this show you about the final? This could, because Real Madrid can't redefend.
There'll be at least 4 goals in that final.
I mean,
at least 4 goals.
If that isn't like 4-3, you're expecting that, which is going to be incredible. Because you look at Liverpool's defence, look at Karius and Lovren if he plays up against Isco,
Ronaldo,
Asensio, Ronaldo,
Benzema.
Gareth Bale. You can't negate that attacking threat. Liverpool have to go out and go for the jugular, and I've seen Tottenham do it this year, and we beat them at it convincingly. They didn't really have a sniff, so it's definitely within Liverpool's hands to win this game, and I genuinely think that they will.
Yeah, I've said it for weeks that like Real Madrid is not, even in the semi-final, that wouldn't have been a bad draw for them, because I think their style is too much for Real Madrid. I don't think they can handle it. They can't control it.
Over 180 minutes, it would have been difficult for Liverpool to close out Real Madrid as they found with Roma. They conceded 6 goals over 2 legs. But I'd rather them, if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd rather have Real Madrid in a one-off tie than have to deal with them over 2 legs.
We were chatting about it in the office. Few salty people, yourself included, and Craig, Chelsea fan, not really happy about it. Sam, Man United fan, very salty as well. And you're talking about how unbearable it would be if they win it.
Yeah.
That seems unfair.
Why?
Why would they be unbearable?
What do you mean? You know what Liverpool fans are like.
But aren't all fans like that?
I think you said this actually, so you're throwing me under the bus. I think you said the problem with Liverpool fans is when they talk about winning a game, it's like
that's not me. That was Craig. No,
right.
no way.
Craig said this is a good point. There's a couple of things. Like, we're Liverpool Football Club. We've done it. You haven't. Your team's done it. You supported them all well and good. And you know what? To be fair, they did have a role because the atmosphere they created at Anfield was like nothing I've seen in English football. They're just so vocal with their pride of their team, and that's the way you should be. But it is irritating. 98% of English football fans are desperate for them to get beat in the final.
Do you think?
Yeah. Show me what you're not one of these guys because they're English.
I have no problem with them winning it. I've no problem with them winning it. I'd rather they won it than Real Madrid. Totally.
No way.
Totally.
No.
You've got English people in that team. You've got Real Madrid who've won it last 3 times.
Forza Madrid.
Yeah. Exactly.
Forza Madrid.
Like Sergio Ramos doesn't need any good things happening to him. Full stop.
No, I agree.
Let alone trophies.
Yeah, they have a deplorable. I mean, Liverpool don't. They have quite likeable players. There's no one in that team. They've got rid of Gerrard, who was intensely disliked.
Not liked Gerrard.
No, I didn't know who liked him.
What player though?
Great player, incredible. Carragher, a bit of on the pitch, certainly just a bit irritating. Suarez. They were a very kind of antagonist football club for a little while. But now they've got a very likeable team. You can't look at any of their players and think, I hate you. And I certainly do feel that about Ramos. You look at him, you think you're a scumbag, a proper scumbag. Ronaldo, scumbag.
Yeah.
But all that said, still want them to win.
Interesting. Let us know in the comments below, who would you rather win? Tell us who you support and who you'd rather win the Champions League final.
I would say about 70% of our subscribers are Liverpool fans. So
don't you think that's really sad? So if you're an English fan, that you can't support that team.
No, it's the nature of rivalry. Look, we're not in that. This isn't all club together and support an English club because they're in Europe. They are our rivals. That strengthens them. Club European champions again strengthens Liverpool club. Continues. I've just done it myself. See, this is what's happening. Strengthens Liverpool, and means that they can go out and attract better players, which makes it harder for Spurs. Why would I want that?
It's the same in all countries as well. Do you think Juventus fans wanted Roma to win last
night? No. Absolutely.
Your problem, Jim, is because you're a championship football club.
Do you know what my problem is? My problem is that I think, like, growing up, there wasn't Twitter and all that stuff. So the only annoying fans I was around were Chelsea fans.
Yeah.
Or Arsenal and Man United fans. And even those two, was kind of okay with it. It was just, and my dad totally brainwashed me. Chelsea.
So for Chelsea,
but with Liverpool was like just up there. I didn't really know many Liverpool fans, and so I don't feel agitated by them. But I think now, with Twitter and everything else, the smugness of everyone and the saltiness of everyone is there for all to see.
In recent
times,
people
can't get beyond it.
I
understand.
Yeah, in recent times, it's about a couple of fans I know who are not Redmen. Just make this clear. Redmen have not contributed to my hatred of Liverpool Football Club. Fucking done it again! Bollocks!
Liverpool
This is like getting to your psyche. Make you up part of who you are. There's a couple I know on WhatsApp groups who are unbearable, and if you talk to them about anything else other than football, they're sound lads. The minute they talk about Liverpool, I want to break my phone in half.
Okay.
Anyway, look, it's there's something in the fact that English football has returned to the fore as a major force in European football since the kind of time, when would it have been? 2009.
Yeah, 2002. Yeah, 2005 to 2008, 9. We were dominant.
Yeah, and I quite like that. I like that, but not as much as I'd like Real Madrid to win.
Okay. Just briefly, let's talk about Gerrard.
Yeah.
Good move, bad move, interesting move.
So Rangers.
Yeah.
Interesting, very interesting. Seems a massive job to start your career. I mean, I know we dismiss Scottish football and say it isn't the level of what we got in England. There isn't. You don't have to manage.
It's totally irrelevant.
I don't think it's irrelevant.
Why? Why is it not? Why is it not relevant? Winning football games is winning football games.
Well, I think it's difficult. Look, my point is that he's taken over a huge pressure club in Rangers who are desperate. In the scenario is that they're desperate to stop Celtic from getting 10 in a row. Now, that's fine, and if he does it, he will be a legend forever if he manages to turn it round. And he's in the advantageous position that he's coming in when Murty was so bad. It just got pumped 5-0 by Celtic, came out in the press and didn't cover himself in glory at all, said the wrong things, and Gerrard, if he goes there, is coming in with, he can only go upwards, but he has zero experience, and I feel like you need some for a job of that magnitude. But, and there always is a but, Gattuso has done an incredible work at AC Milan, and he's never managed before. So.
I think if you're Gerrard, I think there isn't a better job for him, because it probably is slightly easier, because you're going to attract the best players that are willing to come to Scotland. He's got a direct link to Liverpool where he can bring in these kids that he knows which ones are the best ones, and those players. But if you look at the SPL and compare it to, say, the Championship, time and again in the Championship, the teams that bring in quality Premier League players on loan, those teams do incredible stuff. Like Casey Palmer for Huddersfield last year, I think Fraser Campbell a few years ago. There's so many stories of that. So he can take that Rangers side without a huge amount of money from there to there by bringing in those players.
Yeah, you look at there are some good players in that Liverpool you set up as well. You think of Ben Woodburn.
Yeah,
he's just made his debut for Wales.
It'd be interesting to see if they might even have to go lower than that. I think Woodburn was involved with. Is involved with Liverpool, in and around the first team.
Do you think he'd benefit massively from a season in Scotland? He'd rip it up there.
Yeah, I think, and that's it. I think that it's a good place for Liverpool to send players. Yeah. And forget Liverpool, he knows everyone.
Yeah.
So he'd be able to get these other players, and I think Rangers or Celtic is a great place for young players to go, because you can see if they can handle the pressure or not.
Yeah.
Because it's a bubble up.
Yes, it's a level that they'll be comfortable with, but there's a pressure environment that forces them to perform, and it's whether or not they can stand up and do that. But someone like Ben Woodburn would have a field day up there, I think.
Yeah, I think it's perfect for him. I think he's where he's better than probably other managers who've got more experience is the fact that he knows what it's like to deal with that pressure, and he knows which players have got it in them to deal with that pressure, and so I think it would be quite ruthless in that fact. And if he brings Gary McAllister along as well, I think that would be good for him. Liverpool Chelsea. Let's get back to this top four thing.
You noticed anything about me, Jim? Noticed anything about me?
I have.
What?
New tattoo?
No.
Oh.
Do you notice anything about me?
I have, man.
What's that?
You're looking fairly large.
I got...
He's getting...
Because I thought it was just me.
You're looking massive.
Quite big. Do you know what I mean? I felt...
Have you been working out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A gym. I went to the gym this morning.
You went this morning?
Yeah, threw some iron about.
Yeah, just hoying iron about.
Yeah, hoying it from wall to wall.
Just lobbing it about.
I was lobbing iron about.
What sort of I hate this, by the way. I hate gym chat.
Yeah.
Were you what was it, cardio? Were you basing it on cardio? You working with traps?
Bit of cardio. Bit of
squats.
Bit of weightlifting. I don't know if you can catch this on camera. Go lower.
Yeah.
I can't quite touch my hips because...
Of course you can.
no, I can't. Because I've just put too much bulk on. I bulked up too much.
Yeah.
So I'm like one of them...
Because you're getting big.
Yeah, I'm getting big. And what I need is I need someone to rein me in a little bit.
Right.
Because I don't want to get too big. Because you know what? That ain't a good look.
You're not after that.
What I'm after...
You want to be... Do you know what you could be?
Have you seen...
An ASOS model.
Have you...
She's got the tattoo.
Do you think...
Get one on your neck.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Or I could be one of these new mumble rappers on YouTube, get a couple of tattoos on my face, dye my hair pink.
If you had to get a tattoo on your face, what would you get?
I'd get a meringue.
Go on.
No. I don't have to explain it. They don't explain it.
Yeah.
I'd get a meringue on my face and pink hair. Yeah, so I'm just saying, I'm just letting everyone know that, as you check in with us, and if you are watching, please check in, let us know you're okay in the comments below. I'm checking in and letting you know, but I'm getting healthy. I'm going to it's Project Get Sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What for?
For the missus.
This is lovely.
Yeah.
That's great. Right, we'll talk about Liverpool, Chelsea in just a second, because we've had a bit of Liverpool. Let's have a little break.
Yeah.
Let's head over to some fan league trivia.
Okay.
We should say, of course.
Fan league. There is.
These guys. There is no one for the weekend without these guys.
They've been supporting us from day dot.
Well, start season.
Yeah, that
What
start
day
of
dot?
the one
Yeah,
for the weekend
that'll be a
podcast.
fair point.
So from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, fan league. What you do is
Yeah.
tell them.
Oh, right, you want me to... He gets nervous. Right, so one for the weekend's got its own league in Fan League. Fan League is a predictor app where you can win big cash.
Big cash.
Cash prize.
Big cash.
CPMs, cash prize monies. Yeah. So there's a link in the description. Click on that. We've got a one for the weekend league. Join. Get the app. Add me as a friend. James Alcott. ALLCOTT. Add Flav as well. What are you on it? Are you as Flav Bateman, or is it your actual name?
Just Flav, I think.
Oh, right. And because he gets credits, you get free credits to play.
Yeah.
And if you can predict the 13 games, then there is money to be made.
Big money. But also, if you get 12 or 11, you also get money.
That's true. So yeah, support the podcast and download the app and get.
It costs 20p to play. So if you like money, then go and do it. If you don't like money, then don't worry about it.
That's true. Let's talk trivia. The doping scandal has gripped the world, I would say.
What,
I think
last
that's
week?
a fair statement. Well, not last week, but over the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Last week we asked you this question: which 6 goalkeepers have worn Manchester United's #1 shirt in the Premier League era?
All right.
And are you okay? Because last week you got a bit upset.
Did I?
You upset about the doping, weren't you?
I'm fine. I'm over it now. If people want to cheat, they can cheat.
You're not doping, are you? 'Cause I have noticed that you're getting pretty big. Is that purely natural?
I mean, it doesn't matter. You get the result how you get your result.
Is it different? Well, hang on. Shouldn't you have the same moral standards that we do with trivia? People can't Google. That's doping.
Yes.
You shouldn't be doping
Okay, I'll
in
start.
terms of getting big. Didn't want to play it on, got bored. Right, okay. People got it right. Luke Bora, well done.
What was the answer?
I'm going to tell you the bloody answer. Of course I am.
Come on then. Luke Bora, well done.
Luke Bora, well done, mate. T. Dyer Westfield also got it right,
Well done.
but there's some controversy with him.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Abel, also some controversy with him.
Really? Why?
Luke Bora, simple answer, no messing about, clearly no doping. He's gone Schmeichel, Bosnich, Barthez, Howard, Van der Sar and De Gea.
No Roy Carroll.
No Roy Carroll.
Was he 13?
He was 13. As was Raymond van der Houw. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
And Gary Walsh, who was awful. T. Dyer Westfield said this: Schmeichel, Bosnich, Barthez, Van der Sar, Romero and Howard. So you're wrong already. And then he said, I kind of hope I'm wrong, because I'm using a cream for dermatitis that has steroids in it.
Okay.
So I'd fail a drugs test even though I'm clean. So don't worry, you got it wrong. So you're fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
However,
okay.
Jonathan Abel.
Oh God, he already stinks of it, doesn't he? You can. I don't even know what he said, but he stinks of dope.
I'm a Liverpool fan.
Right, that's good. It's fine.
And
I won't hold that.
All right, no, hold it.
No.
And wasn't even born when the Premier League started, so I have no right knowing this. Thus, I definitely doped. Peter Schmeichel, Bosnich, Fabian Barthez, Tim Howard, Edwin van der Sar, De Gea. And Flav, I live in Malaysia. Come over and we can settle this. I'll even fetch you from the airport.
It's quite a long way to go for a fist fight, and I can have any.
Do you care about this podcast or not?
That's a good point. How much does it cost to fly to Malaysia?
I don't know. I'm not paying for
So the reason why I know that this guy is a cheat
is admit it.
He's admitted it, but what he's doing is bluffing, and he's doing double bluff.
Yeah.
He's saying, well, I have cheated, so therefore, it's almost like saying, well, if he's saying he's cheated, has he really cheated? I mean, he wouldn't say that if he had cheated, so he hasn't cheated, and that's why he's saying it.
True.
But I'm onto him.
You're seeing straight for it.
Yeah, I'm onto him, and I'm gonna tear him apart, Liverpool and him. I'm gonna go to Malaysia. I'll pick him up. Pick me up in your car. We'll find a nice quiet place, and
You should double bluff him.
We'll set up.
Double bluff him and go, oh, no, mate. Oh, no, mate, bantering. It's just good to see you.
Yeah.
Should we get some food? Yeah, we get some food. Oh,
And then,
this is so tasty.
And I'll give him a cute yard smile.
Give him a cute yard smile.
Pull his trousers down, smack him on the arse, and don't do it again.
And yeah, you naughty boy. And then get back on a plane and go. Could you just take me back to the airport?
Yeah, because I
have no idea.
I have no idea about Malaysia at all.
Still to come on the podcast, Birds and That. Yeah, really excited about the update with Adam.
I know.
He's been beavering away.
Yeah.
On Bumble, so we'll see what's been happening there.
Do you know? I've heard I've been on Bumble forums, because I need to figure out what it is. So I don't need it. Obviously, I'm in a very healthy, loving relationship, and I have been for nearly 4 years.
Incredible.
But Adam, they've got this thing on the Bumble forums where women talk about men that they've met who aren't all that, who maybe look up with catfish. And Adam's known in the Bumble scene as the bastard of Bumble.
Bastard of Bumble?
Yeah.
Why?
Avoid this guy.
Because he's like a unicorn, he's got it all, but he just won't commit.
Yeah, he ghosted.
I don't know if unicorns do that.
They won't commit.
They just won't commit.
Will not commit.
Unicorns famously struggle with commitment.
Yeah. Because no one really believes in them, do they? And as such, they don't believe in themselves.
Yeah, and then they've got trust issues.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're like, I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
I'm in
a bar, just chilling.
No, I'm in an enchanted forest. And I'm sitting there and I'm beautiful, and I've got this massive horn sticking out of my head, and I was thinking about Pegasus. They aren't real. Yeah. But unicorns, they're sitting there. No one believes me. I'm right here.
And the problem with Enchanted Forest is, although he'll be on his phone and be able to get to people that way, the footfall through an Enchanted Forest is not high.
No, it's minimal.
So unicorns, people don't believe in it because they're not really passing through. Going, oh, there's a unicorn.
Yeah.
Going back. So then when it's online, they're going, Yeah. And that just sets the tone for dating.
Or maybe it's they're looking at him, they're looking at the profile, and they match, and they look at him and go,
that's a unicorn.
That's photoshopped. No one can look that good.
Yeah, that's just a horse with a horn on it.
Adam is a unicorn. That's the problem. All right.
Good segue, I like that.
Into what?
No, I just thought it was a nice little... Took a right there, down Unicorn Street. We should come back. On to trivia. Which 5 players have scored Premier League hat-tricks for different clubs? Now, we asked this in the office, and people still haven't got all the answers.
I thought we got them all.
No. Mate, very difficult question, this one. If anyone gets this... I'll tell you what, try and Google this. I don't think you'll get it.
Okay, so you're allowing people to use... It's like being in a maths exam and maybe allowed to use a calculator.
Calculator. You're allowed your Google calculator this week.
All right.
5 players who scored Premier League hat-tricks for 3 different clubs. Let us know in the comments below.
Yep.
And we will give you a shout out. Luke Bora, well done, mate, this week for getting it right.
Congratulations.
Last week we played Scareball.
5 players who... Oh, yeah, we played a game of Scareball.
Scareball,
Go
yeah.
on. Hat-tricks for...
He's just Googling it for those listening on the podcast.
Premier League clubs. Hang on. How many hat-tricks?
Yeah,
How many hat-tricks?
Maybe do it after.
All right. How many hat-tricks, though?
3 different clubs.
All right, forget it. That's too much.
We did Scareball last week. I just saw a comment that I enjoyed. Scareball's when you face each other and you throw a ball gently and you try not to flinch in any way, shape or form. You can check out last week's podcast to watch live action, exclusive action.
Where's
Scareball for the first time? Ball's not in here. But I just like this. I like the commitment in the comments, which the people that comment like the engagement's amazing.
Yeah.
And the
Well, as we've said
high.
many times, the One for the Weekend pod only works with the people that watch it and engage and comment.
Exactly.
So what did this guy say about Scareball?
I just thought his commitment was incredible. Rich Hawkins went out there and looked to play Scareball.
Yeah.
Get out there, get some exercise, get himself having a healthier life and mind.
And you have to throw the ball at someone's face and they cannot react in
flinch.
any way.
Not even blink.
Right, so
and we've struggled to do it. And Rich Hawkins went that one step further. He said, "I removed my eyelids to win a game of Scareball, but now I'm in agony and will probably never be loved again." So I just thought it would deserve the shout out, Rich.
But
he'll be listening.
Commitment's there.
The commitment's there, indeed.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
No one has ever won a game of Scareball in the history of the sport.
That is true.
It's impossible.
It is impossible. Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs. Who's going to finish top four?
Tottenham and Liverpool.
Chelsea. No chance of Chelsea doing it.
Well,
Playing Liverpool this weekend. We've got a little bit of better form since they lost against you.
They mathematically they can do it, but they're 5 points behind with 3 games to go. It's Spurs have West Brom, Leicester, and Newcastle.
You should be finishing third.
Yes, we should.
You should be finishing third.
So if we do finish third, is that a good season for Tottenham? Are you happy with Pochettino there?
Well, that was yeah. You still haven't won anything though, have you?
Yeah, but that's your obsession.
It's not my obsession.
We're
It's
all
everyone's
fans of it.
obsession.
When he joined the club,
It's brilliant.
When we joined the club, the aim, as in his own words, was to try and bridge the gap between the top 4.
Say it finishes as it is now. Who out of the top 6 can be happy with their season?
The top 6, the ones that finish in the top 4.
Simple as that. The whole aim is just to get back in the Champions League.
I think so, yeah. I mean, that's where the barometer of success is now. Success probably ain't the right word, but the barometer of progress and how well you can build is about that top 4, and the amount of money is huge amounts of money.
Because Sam said for United People's TV that Man United shouldn't be happy with this season.
But Man United have a history of doing, winning leagues, and I think to finish second to Man City, that was always going to happen. That's not bad in the cup final.
And they were 6th last year.
Maybe they're just being greedy.
Maybe they are.
Maybe just.
Let us know in the comments below. I would be intrigued to know what people think. Like out of those guys, have Man United. I think it's Man United's the one you focus on really, because I think if Spurs finish 3rd or even 4th.
All right, I've got another quandary for the comments and for you.
Okay.
If Liverpool win the Champions League, who's had a better season, Liverpool or Manchester City?
If Liverpool, yeah. In terms of exceeding expectations, it's Liverpool, isn't it?
All day Liverpool. If they win the Champions League,
You got to be annoyed if you're a Man City fan, haven't you?
you accept your medicine.
It's good medicine, isn't it? It's quite nice medicine. No, it's like alcohol.
You spent the money. You did what was expected of you. Well done. You played at a par. You spent all that money. You finished top of the league with record points. Brilliant for you. Liverpool have grinded, have fought and tore up the rule book completely. And if they win the Champions League, it would be incredible for them and cast a huge shadow over Manchester City. And I think that's important for football.
Would you rather win the?
That said, I still want Real Madrid to win.
Would you rather win the Premier League or the Champions League? Question goes to you as well, Adam.
Champions League.
Champions League.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably rather win the Champions League because Arsenal haven't done it. That's it.
Yeah.
I'd love to win the Premier League, but Leicester won the Premier League. I mean,
devalues the Premier League because Leicester won it.
But if they can do it, anyone can do it. But the Champions League would be. It's almost the pinnacle, isn't it? What do you think? Where do you have more value in the Premier League or the Champions League?
No, I'm not sure. People always go. I think you can spin it depending on which one you win. People go, but to do it over a 38-game season,
yeah,
I think there's more romance in winning the Champions League. It's like the playoffs. If someone said to you can have automatic promotion right now, or you can go up through the playoffs, right? You take the playoffs.
Of course, because you get that day out.
Buzz, yeah.
Yeah, you're finishing second.
Zamora. Remember that?
Finishing second is nowhere near as good as winning the playoff final.
Absolutely not. I've done both of those, and actually, it was on the last game of the season, and it was brilliant. But there's a stronger glow with winning the league.
Oh yeah.
See, that's a good thing. Like people have a go at QPR fans or fans of the Championship or whatever. My team's finished second in the league. It's won the playoffs. It's lost the playoffs, and it's finished. And it's been champions as well.
Yeah.
The glow of being champions, mate. You wouldn't know because you've never done it.
You're not.
But
that can we
the
just
glow. Let me finish my point.
Okay.
When we won the league, you've won the league, haven't you? Ed?
Yeah.
You've won the league, because he has. He's experienced that as a fan. Let me finish. Experienced as a fan. I've experienced that as a fan. You haven't, and it's. I'll tell you what. The glow. It's. You will never understand that until you win the league.
No, you're right. I will never. Right.
Fact.
But you won the league. But you won promotion. You weren't champions.
We were champions.
No, you weren't.
We won the league.
No, you weren't. You're not. You're not. You can't be champions. You can't be. Yeah, but it's, the word champions is like you're the champions
of that league. Yeah.
Of England.
Yeah, correct.
No, you can't be the champion. You're in the second tier.
We won the championship.
But you're not champions.
Yeah,
we were champions. You won promotion is what you won.
No,
we've never had to.
If you finish second, you get promoted.
We've never had to win promotion because we've never been relegated in my lifetime. So, it's good that you got that. I'm glad you got that.
Over you.
Yeah, but
it's good to be a champion.
You're not champions. You won promotion.
Funny because
you're saying Brentford are champions.
Brentford have been champions. Yeah.
No, they won promotion. They won the league. They won a competition which is much shitter than the one we're in.
Speaking of
Room 69, Ian Holloway should go in there just for the record, because Adam was telling me off camera.
He's building something brilliant.
Adam was telling me off camera, weren't you, Ed?
Yeah.
When Brentford played QPR,
I was chatting to a few QPR fans in the pub who all to a man fucking hated Ian Holloway.
So what?
They hate his personality and they hate his football management.
Yeah.
Everything about him.
Just pop it on this one for me. So what are they called? Have you got names for these people?
No.
QPR fans generally are idiots.
Football fans.
Yeah, football fans are idiots. I'm right, you're wrong. You're deluded if you don't think Ian Holloway is the Messiah.
So why should Ian Holloway keep his job at QPR?
Because he's building something, Flav. Don't turn this on me. We had it there.
But why should he?
Hang on, I've got a
why
nice
should
link
he
there.
keep your job?
Speaking of ridiculous arguments,
right.
Harry Kane, people getting angry at him again.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
For coming out and saying that it was a silly tweet.
You say coming out like he's arranged a press conference. Yeah, to deal with this issue.
Thank you everyone for coming. Harry would just like to say a few words. If he was going to say a few words, forget it.
So Harry, yeah, leave it there. So if Harry Kane.
Should I do my Snapchat story?
No.
No.
No, don't, because these people get sensitive about it.
Yeah, okay.
What was I saying? Yeah, so he hasn't arranged a press conference. He's out of his door, and his wife's behind him with the baby, and he's going, I just need to address something. An interviewer asked him how he felt about it, and he said, yeah, it was silly. It was a silly thing to do.
He said,
and go on, tell us.
He said the FA tweet was a silly tweet. Kane said, we all know that. I talked to the gaffer about it, and all we said was, would other countries do that to their players? Probably not. It is something that has gone. 2 weeks ago now, or whatever. I am over it. The gaffer may have said I am sad, but I am focused. Is that true? Did he say he was sad? I'm a guy that gets over things. All right, I'll stop talking about it then. If it happened, it happened. I move on and look forward to the next game. Yeah. And that's all I worry about.
So, I mean,
what I find amazing, sorry, on the broader point is that when I went on Twitter, initially it was like, this guy's an embarrassment. This guy's a disgrace. Blah, blah, blah. Still going on about this. Well, firstly, you're still going on about it.
Yeah.
Secondly, what could he have said to make this go away? Apart from saying nothing.
And bearing in mind, these are professional footballers, not politicians who can worm their way out of situations and kind of dispel or find a way of putting out a fight.
He's clearly trying to play it down.
Yeah, but but you're suggesting that the people that are saying this about Harry Kane don't have an agenda or a reason for acting that way. So all of this is stupid.
Do you know what he says that as well? He said it's strange. Maybe it's a mentality thing. Is it easier nowadays maybe to banter England players or take the mickey out of the England players? So if we don't do well in the World Cup, they can write and say, we told you so.
Yeah.
That, mate, and I'm
I know you.
Believer in that.
Yeah, you are. And look, firstly, let's not put too much importance on people on Twitter and what people are saying on Twitter. Who gives a shit? Like the platforms are.
At James Orcott.
The platforms are absolute cesspit. Frequented by so many scumbags, it's unreal. So look, it doesn't matter. That's fine. I don't have an issue with. I don't even really care about the tweet really in the first instance. I don't care about it at all, and it doesn't really bother me whether Kane's affected by it either. I think in this instance though, what you're asking is that he was asked a question and he probably should have said, like, it's not a problem. Like, let's just move on. It's no issue.
Just the ag of it. I just find it bizarre. Like, chill. Chill out.
He does have a wider point in that we've got a huge issue, and we have had before social media for decades, of throwing our national team under the bus and almost willfully encouraging the destruction or the failure. You know, we are gonna fail in this World Cup, and there's a lot of reasons
for it. What's
failure?
Though? What's winning and what's failure? Like, is it like either you win it or you're a failure? Is that how it works?
I think people, you know, a valiant defeat in the quarterfinals would probably be enough.
Yeah.
But you know, you look at has there been an English manager who's ever been in that job that hasn't left it a complete joke in the eyes of the press in history, apart from
Venables?
Ramsey?
Who?
Alf Ramsey.
All right. You nearly forgot his name, did you?
Well, I said Ramsey.
No, you just went
Ram.
No, you were looking at me like you'd forgotten it. You'd done one. You know when you forget names.
Oh yeah, the panic.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that one.
Yeah, Venables maybe, but because he exceeded expectations.
Yeah, you know, it's a terrible job, a horrible job, and Southgate will be made to look a fool again. You know, there's a wider culture here, and ultimately, most fans of most clubs don't really care about England. You know, they care first about their own players. And again, going back to Liverpool. Liverpool Football Club I remember a moment, right, where firstly they say that they're not English, they're Scouse, so you're right, fair enough, but if they don't support England, whatever. But when Suarez scored against England for Uruguay, I had them on WhatsApp cheering. They're English. One of their players scored against their country and they cheered because what I'm going to do is remove myself from the pain I'm actually feeling, because they do give a shit, and I'm going to back this player who's just scored against us scumbag as well. So, you know, all of that stuff, all that counts in, all that adds up to it.
In that little rant there, you said you put Liverpool Football Club in a WhatsApp group there. I'm not sure it is totally about Liverpool. It's whoever's in this WhatsApp group that you're talking about.
They are Liverpool fans.
Okay, but they're not all Liverpool fans.
They are all Liverpool.
Okay. It's time for a new bit. It's called Initial Reactions. Initial Reactions. Initial Reactions. James has got a new bit called Initial Reactions.
That's a terrible jingle.
I'll work on it. Still to come, Soldiers Lost in Battle, with some epic new music as well, which I'll explain in a sec. And Birds and that, yeah. And Flames Advice. Still loads to come. Right, quickly, let's do Initial Reactions.
Go on.
What I'm going to do is I've written down a list of different bits and pieces. Don't look at them.
No.
I want you to just clear your mind.
Yeah.
Just clear your mind now. Close your eyes, maybe. Don't know. Yeah, keep yourself calm. Imagine you've just done a big session at the gym. Got home,
I have.
you're feeling relaxed, and you're just letting your mind wander. And I'm going to say some footballing words, and I just want you to let me know your thoughts on those things.
Go on then.
Okay, Bovril.
The North. Is it word association? Is that what we're doing?
Whatever you want it to be, right?
Bovril. I always liked Bovril. I like the idea of it, especially at football and the cold, you know, winter nights in football. My brothers would have a Bovril, and I couldn't because it's got beef in it and I'm vegetarian. Cool. I always looked on it enviously. Well, that would be a lovely cup of Bovril. It's a mark of a time gone past as well.
All right, yeah, keep it down to a sentence if you
can.
All right,
sorry.
World Cup '98, first thought.
Ronaldo in the final, being sick, and the big controversy around Nike. Did they make him play? Did they?
Gerrard Houllier.
It looks like a fish.
El Hadji.
Spitty bastard.
Yeah. Tony Cottee.
Underrated. He scored some great goals for Everton and West Ham.
Anders Limpar.
Horror, absolute horror. You know, at a time when Arsenal were very good under George Graham, Spurs again just caused me kittens. Another one who shouldn't have but did. It terrified me. Ray Parlour. Every time we got the ball, I was like, "Oh, we're done.
Run for Pele. Yeah. Cameroon. First thought.
Roger Miller.
Yeah. Gary Lineker. First thought.
Shitting on the pitch.
Roma. First thought.
Nothing. Right. Complete blank.
And Sergio Ramos.
Scumbag. Yeah. Utter garbage. Great antagonist, knows exactly what he's doing, but detestable footballer.
Okay. Let's see.
Is that going to make it back next week?
Probably not.
Right.
Let us know. Probably not, Ayad.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's poor, wasn't it?
I just thought,
But you've got to try these things. Got to try these
That's
things.
what it's about.
Yeah.
Look, if we hadn't tried Soldiers Lost in Battle, we're about to talk about now.
Honestly, I'm not the best person. I'm not quick. Maybe we should do it for you because you are quite.
I'm very talented.
Not just talented. You are talented. You are super talented. But you're also very quick on the mark. You know, sometimes you make jokes in the office I don't get. I pretend to get.
And then I'll explain it to you.
No.
And then you go, yeah, this guy's hilarious.
No.
And then I ruin
I have to think about what you've said for about 10 seconds. Then it comes to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, Antonio Giusti. Remember the name. He will soon be a famous composer. Because this guy, regular in the comments, he's an OG of One for the Weekend, and the guy's a legend. Got in touch and he said, I could make some music for you for Soldiers Lost in Battle. I said, Antonio, I'd love that. And he's only gone and done it.
It took you ages though. It took you bloody
He had
ages.
assessments.
Oh, right.
So we've got...
But if you promise something, like, do it quickly. I mean, like, I don't want to have to wait around for this stuff. He mentioned doing this how long ago? What? 5-6 weeks ago? Longer than that, maybe. It took ages. Got all excited, then I was like, oh, so what?
You're not going to thank him then?
What's his name?
Antonio.
Thank you very much, Antonio.
Okay.
It's really good as well. Better than the actual original music.
Very true.
I'm just going to put my feet up.
Okay. Don't take shoes off because people got angry in the comments with your smelly feet.
That's ridiculous thing. It's on YouTube. They didn't know whether my feet smell.
That shows how smelly your feet are. So, Soldiers Lost in Battle. This is something we're doing the whole season, as Flav said at the start of the podcast. We talk about people sending their stories, and you can do that in the comments below of how you missed the football, how you were ripped away from your beloved club. One story has gripped our community.
Yes.
And it was from the boy.
The boy.
Who his actual name is Mark.
Is that right?
Yes. And he basically told this story of how he went to the UEFA Cup final, Celtic versus Porto. Tens of thousands of people there.
Yeah. 3 of his mates.
3 of his mates were there.
All had tickets.
And long story short, a villainous fiend by the name of White Teeth, because they never got his name.
White Teeth.
Stayed at their flat that they were staying and stole their tickets.
Yeah. Well, you missed some crucial stuff here.
All right, well, you do that.
Basically, they met this guy in a bar, and he was very charismatic. He had like slick back hair, tan skin, pearly white teeth, as you'd imagine, and tattoos. Very charismatic, and they, as you do on football away trips, you kind of meet these people and they become your friends for 24 hours. Anyway, he ended up staying at their house, and then they woke up in the morning, the day of the game, to find that they were locked in their bedroom.
And he'd stolen the tickets.
The tickets were gone. But the crucial bit you missed, didn't include, is that not only did they miss the game, not only did they have to listen to the game on Spanish radio, but his friend also had to do a poo in the bin bag and wipe his arse with a sock.
Davey.
And Davey had to, and he had to bear witness to all of that.
Yeah. So he is.
And they never saw White Teeth again.
Wow. So at the end of that story that he put in the comments, he said, there is a sequel. We did meet White Teeth again, and he's kindly written the story for us. And there's going to have to be a few parts to it.
3 parts. We've got 3 more episodes of this season.
So it's perfect, and it feels right, especially with the new music that we've got as well. And so this is the initial part of it. And this, reading it feels a bit like a Netflix series where you've got like first bit you're like wow, second bit you just got to get through that because the end bit, fucking amazing. Anyway, here we go. The sequel to White Teeth.
This is nice.
Yeah. I entered the room, breaking into a natural smile as my foot crossed the threshold. Mary, noticing me, tried to reciprocate but faltered. The creases at the corner of her mouth turned upwards, but before the smile could span out across the rest of her face, she broke off, muffling tears and looking deliberately away from me. Responding to this, Dan approached me, looking at me with half a smile, and then his eyes fell to the floor. They've given him 2 weeks, son, at best. What? I responded, with the T from the what falling away as my mouth struggled to formulate the simplest word, leaving me saying something more akin to, what? 2 weeks, Dan reiterated as the tears began to gather in the corners of his eyes. They say it's much more aggressive than they originally thought, and it's spread. I exhaled in disbelieving derision. They said he'd have a couple of years at least, that they'd caught it early enough. Mary's whimper raised to a howl as I recounted our dashed expectations. Dan wiped his reddening eyes with the cuff of his shirt. Sorry, I got to turn this down. I know, they've got it wrong. Dan broke off and turned away in silent sobbing. Disbelief had turned to dumbstruck, and I stood there in silence, in the hospital waiting room, as Davy's parents cried for the cruelly curtailed life of their son. This was 2010, 7 years after the events of the original Soldiers Lost in Battle. Grief consumed my body, sadness enveloped my soul, and every utterance I tried to muster collapsed upon the ridges of my tongue. It took me 10 minutes and all my effort to collect myself, but I did. I straightened myself up, wiped my eyes, steadied my chin, and went in to see Davy. I entered the room and Davy snapped, "I'm literally fucking dying here, and you still managed to show up bloody late." Davy burst out laughing, and for the first time since I'd entered the room, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders, and I laughed. We talked for hours, recounting past glories, humbling humiliations, and the many good and joyous times which had shaped our friendship. Conversation eventually turned to that fateful day 7 years ago in Seville. The passing of time hadn't fully abated the anger. The disappointment had minorly diminished, but the hate figure still burned in our collective consciousness. "White teeth! I so wished we'd seen that prick again," mourned Davy, as we finished sharing our memories. I straightened up in my seat, the mere mention of his name hardening my posture. "I know, but it's been so long. Would we recognise him? What could you even do?" I said quizzically. "I know what I'd fucking do," Davy replied. "Actually," he carried on, if you ever do see that marble-toothed prick again, promise me you'll knock the thieving bastard out." We both burst out laughing. I had never punched someone in my life, and although the proposition was tempting, it wasn't really my style. It was said with tongue firmly in cheek, but the way the traces of moisture upon Davy's soft brown eyes flickered against a backdrop of dying embers of youthful life meant the request stayed with me long after the laughter had faded. "And another thing," he continued, as if getting a few last gripes off his chest, "pull your fucking finger out and ask Anna out. It's just getting sad, the way you look at her with that creepy yearning." "I will do, mate, I will," I replied with a sorrowful smile. We parted company and I left the hospital unsure if I'd ever see my best friend again. I wouldn't. Davy died 3 days later in his sleep. Even before Davy's request, I couldn't shake the experience with white teeth. Justice eluded me and the unfairness drove suspicion. The combination of time and alcohol-laden meeting meant that I couldn't really remember what he looked like with any precision. More just his general look and those character-defining teeth. The animosity hadn't left. I despised him for what he'd done. One of your own, a fellow fan of the club. I loved screwing you over. But how does one hate a memory? The rage had evaporated into a kind of ethereal menace, re-emerging as a dark cloud over me whenever I came across someone I knew I disliked. If I met someone with prominent gleaming teeth, I instantly started wondering if it was him. The face was hazy, but the teeth, they pierced my mist-like memory. In the intervening years, it had become somewhat fashionable to wield ceramic tiles to the front of your grille, so the feature was less distinguishing. That didn't stop me scanning intently anyone who matched his build, height, and pervasive teeth. I could have sworn I'd seen him a few times, but each time it didn't feel right. The aura wasn't the same. It just wasn't him. I eventually reconciled to the fact that I was torturing myself unnecessarily. I had made a monster of the memory, and no being, villainous or otherwise, could match up to the Lucifer that had latched to the tendrils of my mind. He had done what he'd done and got away with it. Davy's words could ring, the rage could burn, but it was done. He had won, or so I thought. The 22nd of November 2014, the day of John's 30th birthday. So John was the third guy, yes. Remember? The guy who didn't come back, who pulled. And the second most tortuous of my life. John told me he was having a big party. He had hired out a function suite, and most importantly of all, Anna was going to be there. Anna. What to say about Anna? I could invoke the cliche nausea of the one, but that would not do this girl justice. Her beauty and appearance and allure was only matched by the intricacies of her mesmeric character and elegantly seductive soul. Anna was the girl who I think most men come across in their life. The one that is a friend of a friend, orbiting your social circle and you hers, all the while knowing neither the twain shall meet. Stolen glances shared, awkward smile, talk stomached, the sheer electricity charging through your very being when you catch her warm smile. She was perennially in relationships, but not because she had to be, People didn't do casual with this girl. I didn't do casual with this girl, and I was only with her in my mind. We had opportunities, chances, and static connection faltering upon my failing courage. I always bottled it, part cowardice, part selfishness, for I knew after her there would be no other. She was the silverware to my spurs, forever destined to watch her carried away in another man's arms. Worse than that, like Spurs, I developed some perverse, fateful romanticism that it was better this way, a nobility in my longing. But at the party, I had decided this was going to be the moment. Too long had I lingered in the retreating realm of what if. I'd heed Davy's instruction. I would make my move. I'd drunk enough, but not too much. I'd recited my lines. I was ready. Anna arrived, and my spirit soared. But she was with another man.
No!
He entered 2 paces behind her.
No!
And smiled as he gazed at her, revealing teeth so large and gleaming that my breath caught in my throat. End of part 1.
No! 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 This is insane!
Fucking mental.
This is not true. It can't be true.
Mate, I've exchanged tweets with them since reading the whole thing, and it is definitely true.
Fucking hell. That, honestly, when you talk about I nearly welled up on the thing, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Davey! R.I.P.
Yeah, man. Fucking Davey.
Davey! Oh, mate.
Heartbreaking, man.
Anna!
Yeah, part 1 done.
Oh, fuck.
Join us next week.
Can I read the rest of it?
No. It's better this way.
It is better. You read it well.
It is better. Thanks.
Mate, this guy's a wordsmith as well. It's not even a joke. He's fucking good.
He's so good. Incredible. Let's know your thoughts on part 1. Ad?
Well, there's 2 more parts.
2 more parts.
Because I was about to go, I know, I can see the twist, I know what's going to happen. And then it actually did.
I didn't see that coming.
You didn't see that coming?
That hit me like a train.
Mate, that's the scene. When I was on the train, when I was reading the first bit, I was just like, wow, like, it's proper hitting me. Incredible. So yeah, part 2 and part 3 still to come. Let's bit of a gear change. Need a breather now. Birds and that, Adam. Here we go.
No. Here we go.
So excited. You're surely inspired by that story. You know, there's a guy. He wants this Anna girl.
I wish that woman was in my life.
Oh,
that's lovely.
What do you mean? You're sick of the flippant?
Yeah, not enough.
Yeah, enough of it.
Did you go in a little stop there in the middle of a podcast? I keep talking. What's the latest? What's the latest?
I'm sorry to say there is no update.
But no, that's fine. This is fine. Like, let him be who he wants to be. He can't go out on full blown dates, hours of his life, and spending money for a 5-minute segment of a podcast each week.
I'm in a quiet phase at the moment.
Are you enjoying it? Ed? Are you enjoying your quiet phase?
It's fine. I'm not really thinking about it.
Don't think about it.
That's when she turns up. What I will say is this: I've done a bit of work on this. Looking at apparently there are 4 reasons why you might not be finding the one.
Okay.
Or someone that you can share.
Is this on the internet?
It was on the internet. Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Everything's on the internet. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So first off, let's just zone in on something here, Adam. Just maybe a bit of self-reflection if you're not going to be out there getting dates. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. First up, is it your attitude? Okay.
Potentially.
Jack Knowles, founder of dating app Tempter, says that many single people that he encounters seem to carry a typical "woe is my" attitude when it comes to explaining to friends and family members the reason behind why they haven't yet found the one. Is that any connection there? Not feeling that?
I have high standards. Is that what you mean?
Which leads me on perfectly to.
I'm very, very picky.
So this is the second one. You're too picky. What? Lucy Jones, relationship expert at. Do you want to talk?
Just quickly, what's the most vacuous reason why you haven't seen a girl again?
What do you mean the most vacuous?
Well, you said your pick. Yeah. Was
obvious.
it? What?
You don't think they're hot?
Both.
Yeah, but what about it? Because I once went out with a girl when I was my second girlfriend, and when she spoke, the end of her nose went like that.
I used to go with a girl like that.
And that really annoyed you?
Intensely.
Do you want my worst one? Which
Yeah.
I feel bad even saying this.
Yeah.
I went on a few dates with one girl and she was quite cool. I liked her. And we got on quite well, but her breath stank.
Oh dear. But that's
a good one.
I feel bad saying that. I just couldn't bear it.
Yeah, you've got to be around that mouth a lot.
What was her name?
No, don't. Okay, possibly you're too picky then. I have
Did
a type.
Did you say
Jess.
Don't say her name.
That wasn't her actual name though, was it?
I have a type. Do you have a type?
Not particularly, no.
Okay. Well, Lucy Jones says that that dating is a buffet. The best way to build your preferences is to sample everything on offer.
How do you get on with that?
I did pretty well, actually. And maybe, is it the last one? You haven't let go of an ex. Your future relationships are affected by a wide range of things. Your connection to your ex is one of the most impactful.
Interesting. I don't think it's that.
You don't think it's that? Okay. Good. So you're too picky, essentially. We figured it out. So I feel like we've got somewhere.
There you go, too picky. But how do you stop being picky? That's the problem. Is it you like... do you know what it is?
So you just remain picky?
No, you
become
more mature, that's what it is. You're a bit immature.
I think someone...
You look past the...
You stop seeing that stuff as important, I think.
People burst through the pickiness.
I found that I was ultra picky when I was younger, and then I don't know, maybe I just fell in love. And then when you're in love, everything's beautiful about that person.
Totally. God, yeah. 3 cheers for your missus, eh? Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
One for luck.
Love you, Ollie.
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Questions for Flames.
What am I doing? Did we just do hip hip hooray for my girlfriend? And I looked across at Adam and he was actually very I'm gonna have to clip this up and send it to her. She'll be like, what the fuck are you doing at work? You get paid to do this shit. Hip hip hooray. Jesus Christ.
People don't know this. I cry when I laugh. I cry when I laugh. People don't know that, will they? Right, question for Flames, last bit of the podcast, and some people's favourites. Joe Robinson, don't worry, mate, don't forget you last week. Flav couldn't be asked to answer your question, but we'll give it a go.
I'm at the end of my tether right now, actually.
Oh.
But carry on.
It's going to be like the Clint Hill story. Hi, guys. I love all your podcasts and have watched them every week.
Oh, God bless you, Joe.
Good
Sorry.
Start.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could give me some advice for the Flame section. There is a girl who's lived across the road from me for about 3 years. She's in my year at high school. For the first 2 years, we were pretty good friends and talked most days for a couple of minutes while we waited for the bus that took us to school. This year, we have become really close and I've started having stronger feelings for her. I think she might like me too, but I'm not sure. About 3 months ago, I was diagnosed with anxiety and I am petrified to tell her how I feel in case she doesn't feel the same way about me. Should I just man up and tell her how I feel or wait? Thanks.
Firstly, the word man up, don't ever use that word. There's no such thing as manning up. All right? You're not less of a man because you feel anxious about that. So don't ever tell yourself that.
Totally true.
But it is the reason why you're feeling anxious about this scenario isn't because you suffer from anxiety, because it's a genuinely frightening thing to do when you're young.
Yeah.
Especially when the huge amounts of jeopardy involved, because you don't get the girl if she says no. And
that's true. And you're scared of losing what's just out of reach at the moment. You're almost like you're safer this side of it than it being gone.
Yeah, so that's a reasonable reason, but you can't do anything but be honest and say, do you fancy getting you can't buy a drink. Do you know what I found? I found the minute I became able to look old enough to get a drink in a bar, it was a lot easier.
To get a
go and get a drink.
Just because everyone's drunk.
Let's go and get a drink.
Oh, right.
Yeah, just go and get a drink. Like, what do you do when you're that age? Trying to go to cinema? And go into a room where you can't talk to each other? Is that what you do? I don't know.
My advice would be, I think I would totally tell her how you feel.
Yep.
I would think about what you want to say.
Yep.
But don't get bogged down in it. And then, because I promise you'll feel better afterwards. Regardless. Because even if she's not keen and she just wants to be friends, then you're one step closer to meeting someone that likes you back, and you get all of that. So you will feel that anxiety that you're feeling. That will go away somewhat just by having the information of knowing if they like you or not.
Yeah, exactly. But you just got sometimes. This is part of being young and dealing with this sort of stuff. Is unfortunately sometimes you just got to take the leap and see what happens. On a wider note, though, Joe. If you've sorted your anxiety out, that's great. But if you haven't, follow me on Twitter at @Flav_Bateman. I know an amazing bit of therapy that really works for anxiety.
That's true.
And I can recommend you to someone.
And yeah, you recommended it to one of my friends who I think enjoyed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It really works. I've done it myself. It's really good.
Masal S. Last question. Hi lads. So here's the deal. I got matched with this. Is one for you, Adam. Get involved on this one. I got matched with this girl on Tinder last year, around October maybe. We text every day for the past 6 months. I absolutely adore her, and she likes me too really much. Brackets, I hope. I think we really have something going on here. Like really, really.
Good.
Trouble is, she lives in a different country. She's only 50 miles away, around 70 kilometres. Thanks. But I need a passport to visit her. We have a plan to go live in Norway after she finishes her uni, but that's 2 or 3 years away. She will go back to uni this year, and I'm afraid that she's going to find someone there. She's fucking gorgeous, plus she's bisexual, so more playing field, I guess. We haven't met yet, but I'm planning to visit her in August. What should I do? Should I continue with this as long as we can, or not?
God, there's a lot there.
Feels a bit weird that they haven't met, to me, and to be so into her. You don't know what the chemistry will be like.
That actually not me. That kind of the way people communicate through the internet. I think I've known of a lot of people. I know people have had full blown relationships with people they hadn't met and then met up and got married.
Right.
Yeah, I know 2 people that ended up doing that.
Fair enough.
And moving to the other side of the world.
Wait, isn't that what you're doing all the time?
Me?
Mm.
Yeah, but I mean, you talk to them
And
for a
then
couple
you
of days.
and then you right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you put more into when it's words on a screen. You put more into it and read much more into it, so you can develop fear. It's common. It's common.
But you're right. The nuances of tone and stuff that's a massive part of it, isn't it? Like I don't. Me and my wife we don't talk a huge amount. We just kind of like.
What?
It's other stuff. It's sort of, we're very tactile to each other.
You just go in and just sort of get
silly,
off.
Mate, yeah.
Don't talk. Just get off.
Yeah,
each
just
other.
snog.
God,
She might have bad breath.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to advise here.
I think try and meet her
Yeah.
before you do anything.
Make big calls.
Make any big
Yeah.
commitments.
It's 50 miles ain't that much. I mean, my missus lives.
It's like here to Milton Keynes or something. Isn't it?
Yeah. My missus lives in Wiltshire, and I see her every weekend, and it's further away. It's 100 miles away. So, I mean, I don't know what. Have you not got a passport? Is that the problem?
I say don't wait around like a year or 2.
And the bisexual thing, I'm not sure what that's about. I think he's in his head that he's thinking about some sort of.
He thinks that's hot.
I mean, it is hot, but I'm thinking.
You think that's hot?
What? Who doesn't think that's hot? Of course it's hot. I think it's.
By the by.
Weird.
No pens.
I mean, it's hot for us, isn't it? Like for bisexual.
Are you saying you're bisexual?
I'm saying that me and you, on film, be hot for a lot of people.
Yeah. But we don't give. We let them read between the lines.
I go into a relationship going, I'm bisexual, just so you know, hoping that they find it hot. I'm not, but they might find it hot. Why isn't the same?
Got to use everything, haven't you?
Why you can't use
sometimes,
all of the...
Sometimes I used to go up to a girl and I go, I'm a postman, because they might find that hot. That's what I'm saying. The bisexual thing means nothing. You saying I'm a postman, or you saying you're bisexual, there's no difference in that.
So why does it work when girls say it?
That's a good point.
Why doesn't it work when I say it?
Imagine a female postman.
What?
That was Flames. Flames advice.
Sorry, mate, we didn't help you there, but let's just look. Go and meet her. Go and meet her. Have
go
a
and
good
meet her
time.
before you make a big call on it. I think definitely.
I don't want to put horrible things in your head as well, but to 2 to 3 years at university for a bisexual girl is.
It doesn't matter. She's bisexual.
Well, it means that there's a whole lot of people that could potentially, and she's at uni, and people are very free spirited at uni. You can imagine.
You're not helping him.
Things might happen. So, it's cruel.
Yeah, this is cruel.
What, you don't think
He
that?
knows this.
Do you know? Is it?
It's not cruel, is it?
No, you're
No. Saying
you don't know what a character's like. Just because
I'm not
she's
saying
bisexual doesn't mean she's a nymph.
I know that. I don't know that.
That's not what you're. Look, I think ultimately the odds are against the pair of you. But if you like each other, then continue. But you need to meet up with each other.
Yeah, meet up, have a good time for a weekend. Just meet up, have a few drinks, and explore.
Yeah, just the 2 of you though.